So today's task is getting these rear sets looking nice. Now there's a lot of rear set here that I don't really need. That's the other side. In fact, no, do you know what? No, I'm talking out of my rear. This is actually that side, so let's swap these over. This is this side, so this clips on there. You've got those two holes there, clips on there, and then it bolts straight onto the engine, so that it's kind of a good place to mount it. There's a few things to do here. Obviously, because I don't have a rear passenger, and you know what, I never carried a rear passenger with the Monster anyway. I don't think the 600 engine, bless it, would have been able to really handle what I wanted to do with two people on. So this back bit is going, I'm going to cut it there ever so neatly. I don't think that is going to affect the strength at all. I really don't, because it is, I'm feeling, well, looking at the back actually, the back is kind of reinforced, so that's not going to affect it in the slightest. I do need to remove this because there was a leak in my rear brakes. I was riding around without rear brakes for a while. I'm probably going to keep this lever again, just tied it up, but ultimately keep the footrests, keep the brake pedal, possibly change the rear master cylinder, and just polish it up, get it looking nice and clean. So that is today's job. Do this side, do the other side, and then bolt it straight on. Job done. So there's one piece and two pieces. Let's fit them both on this bench. What I have done is filed around the edge. Obviously we've got that tiny bit of a lip just there where unfortunately it does break through, but I'm not too fussed about that. I mean, you could always fill it up with aluminium. That is on that side. You're not going to see it too much, so I'm not too fussed. You could always, like I said, fill it up with aluminium. That's fine. That one's not too bad. That one's just a tinier cut. Superbly shiny. Both considerably shorter as well. I mean, look at that. That is a lot shorter than what it was without, and still looks fine. Still looks neat. One thing I do need to do is sort these backs out, because the backs will be visible. I mean, not much, but the backs will be a little bit visible. And I'm not going to go to the effort of polishing these. What I'm going to do is simply tape it all off, then just spray the back black. So these actually turned out a heck of a lot better than I ever imagined they would. Thinking about it, I could probably go over it one more time with possibly a finer grit. I have honestly just wire brushed these clean, because I did originally kind of want a bit of that brushed look, but I'm wondering what would it look like if I actually polished it a little bit more. I don't want a mirror polish. What I don't want is I don't want it to look chrome. I really do not like chrome. That's kind of my reason for keeping it like that. It works well. I mean, this black behind it is a bit dusty. I mean, look at that now. Especially same with that. It works well against the black because it does stand out so well. Then accents quite nicely to this orange of the frame. I mean, that's even getting a little bit dirty and dusty now. And then you've got the grey of the engine just behind it there. So that's the same grey that we're using on this. But that works really well. You know, I'm happy with that. We've lost that entire back end, which went all the way from here to about here actually. Still strong enough for a person to stand on it. And it also utilises what we have and saves an expense on there. Next thing I need to do is obviously tidy up, or maybe master cylinder for the rear brake, sort out the rear caliper out. Same with the stand. I have got the stand here. This is more messy working, but the stand needs a little bit of TLC, a little bit of restoration. So we're leaving that until now. But the foot pegs are on it. And do you know what as well? I've actually used the existing foot pegs from the Ducati, just cleaned it up. And I really do like those. It's the end of the episode. Now you may have seen a bit of a change in style halfway through. My 60D has gone. Lens is fine, luckily. It's more of the battery closing little latch on there. There's a little sensor that knows when the battery's open and closed. That's just been hammered to death and it's finally snapped off. So that is why we're not filming the 60D. That is it. Next video on the Ducati will be that front fairing, that mould. Also, we've got the split mould for the main body over there, so that's going to be made out of carbon fibre. We've also got the roll video coming up with the front end. Also, we'll be looking at the R100 at the back there, making a start on that, trying to get it run a little bit smoother. So until the next video, don't go breaking your camera. Yeah, I'm sure that was an Elton John song.